I'm about to show you something that will make you question every multivitamin you've ever taken. What if I told you that the US supplement industry, worth over $55 billion annually, has been misleading consumers for decades? That bottle of multivitamins sitting in your medicine cabinet right now might be doing absolutely nothing for your health. For many people, you're likely just creating expensive waste as synthetic water-soluble vitamins flush straight through your system unused. The FDA doesn't even require these companies to prove their products work before selling them to you. While some people do need targeted supplementation based on medical guidance, the vast majority are being sold products they don't need. Let me show you exactly what happens when you swallow those colorful pills. Ever wonder why your urine turns bright yellow after taking vitamins? There's a disturbing reason behind this colorful change. Most people think that yellow urine means the vitamins are working, but science tells a completely different story. What if that bright color is actually proof that your body is rejecting the synthetic compounds you just swallowed? Here's what's really happening inside your body. Those vitamins you're taking aren't made from fruits and vegetables like you might think. They're created in laboratories through chemical processes rather than extracted from whole foods. Many synthetic vitamins are manufactured using industrial methods that transform basic compounds into pills that look just like real nutrients. But your body knows the difference. When you swallow a synthetic vitamin, your digestive system tries to process it like real food. But here's the problem. These lab-made compounds don't have the same molecular structure as nutrients from actual food sources. They're missing the cofactors, enzymes, and other compounds that help your body recognize and use real vitamins. It's like trying to fuel a car with fake gasoline. Your body simply doesn't recognize these artificial compounds. The research shows that synthetic vitamins have significantly lower bioavailability compared to whole food nutrients. This means a large portion of what you're swallowing goes straight through your body unused. Water-soluble synthetic vitamins like B-complex and vitamin C pass through your system in just 4 to 6 hours. Your kidneys filter them out and send them straight to your bladder. This is where that bright yellow urine comes in. That neon color isn't a sign that your vitamins are working. Kidneys flush out excess water-soluble B vitamins, which is why riboflavin from multivitamins often shows up in urine. Your body is literally telling you it doesn't want these synthetic compounds. You're creating expensive waste that costs you money and does nothing for your health. But here's what makes this even more troubling. The FDA doesn't require pre-market approval for supplements, which means companies can make unverified claims about their products. They use phrases like high potency and maximum strength to make you think more is better. But when your body can only absorb a fraction of synthetic vitamins, those high doses become meaningless. The vitamin industry has built their entire business model around this regulatory gap. They know that most people will see that bright yellow urine and think their vitamins are working. They count on you not understanding the science behind nutrient absorption. They want you to believe that synthetic vitamins made through chemical processes are just as good as nutrients from real food. Think about this for a moment. Would you rather get vitamin C from an orange that contains hundreds of naturally occurring compounds that work together, or from ascorbic acid made in a factory using industrial processes? Your body evolved to recognize and use nutrients from food sources. It has no idea what to do with these synthetic imposters. The supplement companies also know that you'll keep buying their products because you want to believe they're helping your health. They count on the fact that you won't feel an immediate difference when you stop taking them. This makes it easy to convince you that you need them for long-term health benefits that may never actually happen. Every time you see that bright yellow urine, remember what it really means. Your body is rejecting those synthetic compounds and sending them straight to the sewer system. You're literally flushing your money down the toilet. But this water-soluble vitamin problem isn't the only issue you need to worry about. Fat-soluble vitamins present an entirely different risk profile that most people never consider. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K don't exit through urine like their water-soluble cousins. Instead, they accumulate in your liver and fatty tissues, storing up for months or even years. What happens when these synthetic compounds reach toxic levels in your organs? Your body treats fat-soluble vitamins completely differently than water-soluble ones. When you take vitamin C or B vitamins, your kidneys filter out the excess within hours. But vitamins A, D, E, and K get stored in your liver, fatty tissues, and muscles. Your body holds on to them because it thinks they might be needed later. This storage system worked fine when humans got these vitamins from food sources in natural amounts. But synthetic supplements deliver massive doses that your body was never designed to handle. This storage mechanism creates a dangerous situation called hypervitaminosis. That's medical speak for vitamin toxicity. When you take multivitamins every day for months or years, these fat-soluble vitamins keep building up. Your body has no quick way to get rid of the excess. The levels slowly climb higher and higher until they reach toxic concentrations that can cause serious health problems. The medical community has established tolerable upper intake levels for these vitamins precisely because of toxicity risks. For vitamin D, the upper limit is 100 micrograms per day, while vitamin A should not exceed 3,000 micrograms daily. These limits exist because exceeding them can lead to serious health consequences. Vitamin A toxicity shows just how dangerous this buildup can become. Too much vitamin A causes drowsiness, irritability, nausea, and vomiting. But the real damage happens over time. Excess vitamin A accumulates in your liver and can cause permanent liver damage. It weakens your bones, leading to fractures and chronic bone pain. Your vision can suffer permanent damage. Research has shown that excessive vitamin A intake may increase lung cancer risk, particularly among smokers. Vitamin D toxicity creates a different but equally dangerous problem. Too much vitamin D causes your body to absorb excessive amounts of calcium from food. This calcium buildup in your blood, called hypercalcemia, wreaks havoc on your organs. You might experience upset stomach, vomiting, weakness, and frequent urination. The excess calcium forms kidney stones that can be extremely painful to pass. Your heart rhythm can become irregular, which is potentially life-threatening. Calcium deposits can form in your organs, causing permanent damage. Vitamin E toxicity affects your blood's ability to clot properly. Taking too much vitamin E can cause hemorrhages or even hemorrhagic stroke. This is especially dangerous for people taking blood-thinning medications or those with bleeding disorders. The combination can turn a minor cut into a medical emergency. Real people end up in hospitals because of these toxic buildups. Emergency rooms see patients who have been taking multivitamins for years, thinking they were improving their health. Instead, they arrive with liver damage, kidney stones, or bleeding problems. Symptoms often don't appear until months of high-dose use lead to hypervitaminosis, making it difficult to connect the health problems to supplement use. The scary part is how slowly this toxicity develops. You won't feel sick after taking one multivitamin or even after a few weeks. The symptoms creep up gradually as these synthetic compounds accumulate month after month. By the time you notice something is wrong, significant damage may already be done to your organs. This reveals a fundamental flaw in the more is better mentality that the supplement industry promotes. They want you to believe that taking vitamins every day will make you healthier. But with fat-soluble vitamins, daily supplementation can actually poison your body slowly over time. The supplement companies know about these accumulation effects, yet they continue exploiting people's lack of knowledge about these dangerous buildups. But what if the entire foundation of their marketing strategy is built on a lie? Supplement companies have convinced millions that modern food is nutritionally bankrupt. But what if this entire premise is false? The industry thrives on the fear that you can't get proper nutrition from food alone in today's world. What if most people taking multivitamins are actually getting plenty of nutrients from their regular diet? Here's what the supplement industry doesn't want you to know. While most nutrients are adequate with varied diets in developed countries, only specific groups like pregnant women, elderly individuals, and vegetarians may need targeted supplements. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services emphasize that nutritional needs should primarily be met through food. They acknowledge that fortified foods and supplements can be helpful when dietary needs aren't met, but this applies to specific situations, not the general population. The 2020-2025 Dietary Guidelines for Americans identifies only a few nutrients of public health concern in the American diet. These include calcium, potassium, dietary fiber, and vitamin D for both adults and children. Iron is also a concern for infants primarily fed human milk, adolescent females, and pregnant individuals. Notice what's missing from this list: most of the vitamins and minerals that multivitamins claim you desperately need. Let's look at which nutrients are genuinely difficult to get from food versus which are abundant in common foods. Vitamin B12 can be challenging for strict vegetarians since it's primarily found in animal products. Vitamin D is hard to get from food sources alone because few foods naturally contain it. But most other nutrients are plentiful in regular foods. Vitamin C is abundant in citrus fruits, bell peppers, and strawberries. Iron is found in meat, beans, and leafy greens. Calcium is in dairy products, leafy greens, and fortified plant milks. U.S. food fortification programs have successfully addressed specific deficiency diseases. For example, folic acid added to grains has significantly reduced neural tube defects in newborns. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that individuals capable of becoming pregnant consume 400 micrograms per day of folic acid from fortified foods, supplements, or both. Adequate folic acid intake during the periconceptual period reduces the risk of neural tube defects in newborns. This targeted approach shows how supplementation should work when there's a genuine need. The nutrient density of whole foods versus synthetic supplements reveals a massive difference. An orange contains vitamin C along with flavonoids, fiber, folate, and dozens of other compounds that work together. These compounds help your body absorb and use the vitamin C more effectively. A synthetic vitamin C tablet contains only ascorbic acid with none of these supporting nutrients. Your body recognizes the orange as food and knows how to process all its components. The isolated synthetic vitamin confuses your digestive system. Consider iron absorption as another example. Plant-based iron is better absorbed when you eat it with vitamin C-rich foods. Your body naturally regulates this process when you get nutrients from food. If you eat spinach with tomatoes, the vitamin C in the tomatoes helps your body absorb the iron from the spinach. This natural regulation prevents iron overload, which can damage your organs. Synthetic iron supplements bypass this natural regulation and can cause dangerous buildups. Your body's nutrient absorption from food is naturally regulated, preventing toxic buildup. When you eat foods rich in fat-soluble vitamins, your body absorbs what it needs and stops when it has enough. This built-in safety mechanism doesn't work with synthetic supplements because they deliver nutrients in forms and amounts your body doesn't recognize as natural. For most people, a balanced diet provides superior nutrition compared to any multivitamin supplement. Your body gets everything it needs from whole foods in forms it can actually use. The supplement industry deliberately obscures this reality to maintain their market. But their deception goes even deeper than you might imagine. Walk into any health store and you'll see bottles covered in appealing natural labels that promise pure, plant-based nutrition. The regulatory gaps in supplement labeling allow companies to use the term natural even when their vitamins are chemically synthesized in laboratories. This creates massive confusion for consumers who think natural means the vitamins came from plants or other natural sources. The FDA doesn't have a standard definition for what natural means on supplement labels. This gives manufacturers complete freedom to decide what counts as natural for their products. Many so-called natural vitamins come from heavily processed sources rather than whole foods, despite their labels. Companies can take synthetic compounds through extensive chemical processing and still call them natural. The sources and manufacturing methods would surprise most consumers who pay premium prices expecting plant-derived nutrients. These products undergo the same industrial processes as regular synthetic vitamins, yet carry natural branding that commands higher prices. Brands often add minimal natural extracts to synthetic formulas to claim whole food-derived status, which can deceive consumers. Small amounts of natural extracts allow products to carry natural branding despite being primarily synthetic. A vitamin tablet made from synthetic compounds becomes natural if manufacturers add a tiny amount of real food powder. The synthetic vitamin still makes up the vast majority of the product, but the marketing language makes it sound like it came from whole foods. The difference between truly natural nutrients found in whole foods and lab-created natural vitamins is enormous. Real nutrients in foods come with cofactors, enzymes, and other compounds that help your body absorb and use them. When you eat an orange, you get vitamin C, along with bioflavonoids, fiber, and dozens of other nutrients that work together. The synthetic vitamin C in a natural supplement is still just isolated ascorbic acid, even if it has natural labeling. Supplement companies exploit your desire for natural products through deceptive marketing language. They know that most people prefer natural products over synthetic ones. They use words like derived from whole foods or naturally sourced to make synthetic vitamins sound healthier. These phrases create the impression that the vitamins came from actual foods when they're really made in chemical plants. The natural vitamin industry charges premium prices for products that are often chemically identical to cheaper synthetic versions. You might pay twice as much for a natural vitamin that underwent the same manufacturing process as the regular version. The only difference is the marketing language on the label. Companies count on consumers not understanding the chemistry behind vitamin production. Marketing departments create elaborate stories about how their natural vitamins are superior to synthetic ones. They use terms like bioavailable and easily absorbed to justify higher prices. But laboratory tests often show that these expensive, natural vitamins have the same chemical structure as synthetic ones. Your body processes them in exactly the same way. Paying extra for natural vitamins often means paying more for the same synthetic compounds with clever marketing. The vitamin molecules are identical, whether they're labeled natural or synthetic. Your body cannot tell the difference between them. This labeling deception reveals how little oversight exists in the supplement industry, allowing companies to define terms however benefits their marketing strategy. This lack of oversight stems from a fundamental regulatory gap that treats dietary supplements as foods rather than drugs, creating far less oversight than pharmaceuticals. Most people assume that vitamins on store shelves have been tested and approved for safety and effectiveness. They walk into pharmacies and health stores believing that someone in authority has checked these products before they reach consumers. The shocking truth is that the FDA does not require pre-market evidence of safety or efficacy for dietary supplements. The FDA doesn't require pre-market approval for dietary supplements like they do for prescription drugs. This means companies can manufacture vitamins, minerals, and herbal products without submitting safety data or effectiveness studies. They can put these products on store shelves immediately without any government agency checking them first. Prescription drugs go through years of testing before reaching consumers. Supplement companies skip this entire process. This regulatory gap creates a massive loophole that companies exploit every day. They can make structure-function claims without scientific evidence to back them up. You see phrases like supports heart health or boosts immune function on supplement labels. These claims sound medical and authoritative, but companies don't have to prove them with clinical trials. They just need to include a small disclaimer that the FDA hasn't evaluated their claims. The difference between FDA-approved drug claims and unregulated supplement marketing language is enormous. Drug companies must prove their products work through rigorous clinical trials before making health claims. They face criminal charges if they make false claims about their products. Supplement companies face no such requirements. They can make broad health claims as long as they don't specifically say their products treat or cure diseases. The Federal Trade Commission only acts after consumer complaints, not before products reach the market. This reactive approach means potentially harmful or useless products can be sold for months or years before anyone investigates them. The FTC waits for people to get sick or file complaints before taking action. By then, millions of consumers may have already wasted money on ineffective products. The Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994 created this regulatory vacuum. This law defined dietary supplements and gave companies the right to make structure-function claims without pre-market approval. The supplement industry lobbied heavily for this legislation, knowing it would allow them to operate with minimal regulation while protecting them from meaningful oversight. Supplement quality varies wildly between brands with no standardized manufacturing requirements. One bottle of vitamin D might contain exactly what the label says, while another contains half the stated amount or harmful contaminants. Independent testing by consumer groups regularly finds supplements that don't match their labels. Some products contain dangerous levels of heavy metals or prescription drugs that aren't listed on the label. The FDA can only take action against supplements after they're marketed if they're found to be adulterated or misbranded. This means the agency waits for problems to surface before investigating. They issue warning letters, seize products, or pursue legal action only after potential harm has already occurred. This reactive approach contrasts sharply with the proactive pre-market approval process for drugs. The supplement industry operates in a regulatory vacuum that allows companies to profit from unproven products. They can make health claims without evidence, manufacture products without quality controls, and sell them without proving safety or effectiveness. This system puts all the risk on consumers while protecting company profits. Now that you understand how this industry operates without meaningful oversight, you're probably wondering what you should actually do about your health and nutrition. Evidence shows whole food diets provide nutrients with higher bioavailability than most supplements. Whole foods serve as the gold standard for obtaining essential vitamins, minerals, and macronutrients according to USDA and NIH Office of Dietary Supplements guidelines. They provide a comprehensive array of nutrients, including cofactors and enzymes, that facilitate optimal absorption and utilization, which synthetic supplements often lack. When you eat an apple, you get vitamin C along with fiber, antioxidants, and dozens of other compounds that work together. Your body recognizes this as real food and knows exactly how to process it. Specific nutrient-dense foods outperform multivitamins for common health concerns. Oily fish like salmon and sardines provide omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation and support heart health. Beans and legumes offer protein, fiber, and minerals that synthetic supplements can't replicate. Eating one serving of legumes daily has been linked to a 5% lower LDL cholesterol level and a 5 to 6% lower risk of heart disease. Leafy greens like spinach and kale contain folate, iron, and vitamin K in forms your body can actually use. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats, protein, and minerals without the toxic buildup risks of fat-soluble vitamin supplements. Whole grains deliver B vitamins, fiber, and sustained energy that processed supplements never match. These foods work together to create a nutritional profile that's impossible to replicate in pill form. No U.S. health agency promotes regular multivitamin use except for specific life stages or diagnosed deficiencies. Targeted supplementation might be necessary in specific situations based on blood testing and medical guidance. The FDA recommends that individuals older than 50 years obtain recommended amounts of vitamin B12 primarily from fortified foods or dietary supplements. This is because adults in this age group may not be able to absorb enough of the protein-bound, naturally occurring vitamin B12 in food due to a decline in gastric acidity and the increased prevalence of atrophic gastritis. Pregnant women may need to supplement with extra vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin D, while vegans may need to supplement with vitamin B12, calcium, zinc, iron, and vitamin D. However, it is crucial to be cautious, as taking excessive amounts of synthetic nutrients can lead to adverse health effects. These recommendations come from actual medical research, not marketing campaigns. Identifying genuine nutrient deficiencies requires proper medical testing rather than guessing based on supplement advertisements. Blood tests can measure your actual vitamin and mineral levels. Your doctor can check for specific deficiencies like iron, vitamin D, or B12 through laboratory analysis. This approach gives you real data about what your body actually needs instead of relying on fear-based marketing that assumes everyone is deficient. Focus on a varied diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, which supplies most essential nutrients in absorbable forms. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store, where fresh produce, meats, and dairy products are located. Avoid foods with long ingredient lists full of chemicals you can't pronounce. Cook more meals at home so you control what goes into your body. Real nutrition comes from food, not pills, and targeted supplementation should be based on actual testing, not marketing fears. You have the power to make informed decisions based on science rather than supplement industry propaganda. But now you need to understand how this entire industry has been built on deception. The supplement industry has built a $55.7 billion empire on regulatory loopholes and unproven health claims. They've convinced millions of people to spend money on products that create expensive urine while potentially harming their health. The American Heart Association advises against using multivitamins to prevent cardiovascular disease, as scientific studies have found them to be of no value for this purpose. While targeted supplementation under medical guidance can benefit certain groups, routine multivitamin use for longevity lacks evidence and may pose risks. Question everything you've been told about supplements and discuss testing and personalized nutrition with healthcare providers before supplementing. True health comes from informed choices, not expensive pills pushed by clever marketing campaigns designed to exploit your concerns about nutrition. If you found this video eye-opening, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends and family. Everyone deserves to know the truth about supplements and nutrition. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more honest, science-based insights into your health and wellness journey. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and remember, true health starts with informed choices. See you in the next one.